Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another podcast. Now, today's an interesting one because yesterday we just had our first NFL game of the 2020 season, and for me personally, it was a big bust. I didn't really enjoy watching that game. Let me know if you guys enjoyed watching that game. But back to what we were doing. We're gonna look at some post-game stats. We're gonna look at some post-game stats, how the Chiefs and Texans did in their first game in the 2020 season. The Chiefs, what was it, 31 to 20. I know the Texans scored 20, and so for the Chiefs, passing, they had 211 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and 24 completions. That's pretty good. For rushing was amazing. They had 34 carries, 166 yards with 1 touchdown. And for defense, they had 4 sacks and 1 interception. Now on the other side of the ball, the Houston Texans, with 253 passing yards, 1 touchdown and 1 interception, 20 completions and 32 attempts. And for the rushing portion of their offense, 22 carries, 118 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And for the defense, they had a sack. No interceptions, just a sack. 1 sack. When you got the Chiefs defense over here getting an interception and 4 sacks. Chris Jones had 1.5 sacks this game. Now to get caught up on some NFL news, the crowd in the opening kickoff game booed. They just booed. Everyone was booing when the Chiefs and the Texans went and linked their arms together across the field for like a unity thing. And I guess the crowd didn't like that because it was booing. And then the Texans stayed in the locker room for the national anthem. I'm not gonna give my personal thought on that, but they stayed in the locker room for the national anthem. That's all I gotta say to that one. The Chiefs Chiefs rookie running back did exceptionally well this first game. He did really good, actually. I mean, he had, what was it? He had like 77 yards and a touchdown. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And 11 carries. Really, I hope we see more of him on the Chiefs offense this year. The Texans, I don't know. This game, they seemed pretty lost when they didn't have DeAndre Hopkins out on the offense. It looked like they didn't know what to do, didn't know who to pass to. The Texans were a mess that game, and I'm hoping they can fix it for this 2020 season, or else they are not going to stand a chance. But that's that, and more stuff to talk about. We got Zach Ertz frustrated with the talking about his contract. Now, does this mean Zach Ertz is gonna leave the Eagles? Most likely not. I'm a big Bears fan, but I also do like the Eagles. I have my fair share of an Eagles fan, right? And I adore Zach Ertz. He is one of my favorite tight ends in the NFL, and if he would leave the Eagles, I would want him to go to the Bears. Yes. If he leaves, Ryan Pace, Matt Nagy, make it happen. Yeah, and just with the Texans staying in the locker room for the national anthem, supposedly, so are the Dolphins when they go and face the Patriots on Sunday. That's gonna be really, really nice to see how that pans out. A lot of injuries going into this season. A lot of them. And one of them would be Cortland Sutton has an AC joint sprain. And he's gonna go ahead and join his fellow teammate Von Miller on the injury reserved. No, I don't even think Von Miller's on injury reserve. Anyways, he's gonna be injured with his teammate Von Miller. And we all know what happened to Von Miller. He broke his ankle. That's really all there is to that one. And a lot of injuries on the Bears game this weekend. And honestly, this hit hard. This hit really hard, knowing that really only one person on the injured list is not able to practice. The rest of them are either free to practice or limited practicing. One of them is not able to practice at all, and one of them is limited to practicing. That one that is limited or not able to practice at all is Robert Quinn. Yes, the new linebacker that we just signed, Robert Quinn, is now not able to practice. Hopefully he will be able to play the Lions game. Doubt it, but I hope. And Khalil Mack on limited practicing. Oh, and by the way, Robert Quinn broke his ankle. Or I'm pretty sure he has a broken ankle. Something to do with his ankle. Khalil Mack limited practicing. His knee. This sucks. This really sucks. But yes, his knee. And now we got David Montgomery, and everyone else is free to practice on this, by the way. David Montgomery with a groin injury, he is free to practice. Cordero Patterson with a knee injury is free to practice. Jason Spriggs with a knee injury is free to practice. Javon Wims, Achilles injury, free to practice. Jermaine, I don't know how to say his name, but Jermaine Ifedi or something, triceps, is free to practice, and Buster Skrine has broken a finger and he is free to practice. Now, that is okay. That is okay. Bears are not the only ones hit with injuries this season, obviously, but we also have the Lions hit with some injuries this season. And boy, oh boy, did they get hit with some injuries. Mainly the top four, I would say. We got Hunter Bryant with a hamstring injury, not able to practice for the Detroit Lions. Kenny Galladay with a hamstring injury, not able to practice. And CJ Moore with a hamstring injury, not able to practice. I don't know how to say his first name, so I'm just gonna say his last name. And I don't even know how to say his last name either, so I'm gonna butcher this really hard. Vadi. Yep, that's what I'm going with. Vadi has a foot injury, and he is not able to practice. Everyone else on the Lions has a limited practice, and luckily for them, Jeff Okudah is unlimited practicing right now. They got Danny Amendola with a hamstring injury, limited practicing. Deshaun Hand, groin injury with limited practicing. Jeff Okudah, Julian Okwara, knee injury, limited practicing. Daryl Roberts, groin injury, limited practicing. And DeAndre Swift with a hip injury, unlimited practicing. Now, so that's going to be a lot of injuries for that game, and I cannot wait to watch that game. Hopefully, Khalil Mack and Robert Quinn are able to play. If not, they'll hopefully be ready for week 2, because we can't go super long without them, or else the defense, you got to remember that rule of 3. You got to remember rule of 3 is what the Chicago Bears defense is going after this year. After they failed last year, that's what they're going after this year. The rule of 3. And now, to end off this whole thing with some game predictions for Sunday Night Football. Every single game I have a game prediction for. Actually, this ain't ending it off because I have something else to tell you guys. Well, to show you guys, but the Bears and Lions game, you already know who I'm going for. The Bears win that game. I'm 100% confident the Bears will win that game. Seahawks and Falcons. Seahawks wins the game. Sorry if I say your favorite team loses, but if your favorite team is a team like the Jags and you know you're gonna lose, then please do not be offended by any of this. But Seahawks and Falcons, the Seahawks beat the Falcons on this game. Eagles and the Washington football team. I really didn't have a tough choice for this one. I mean, the Eagles, I know, are gonna, hopefully, I don't know, but I'm almost 100% sure they will beat the Washington football team. Dolphins and Patriots, that one? That one, I had some trouble. I was going back and forth between this game, and I ended on the Patriots beating the Dolphins. I've heard a few people say the Dolphins are going to win, but they're probably just Dolphins fans. Dolphins fans being Dolphins fans, two a time. But unfortunately, he's not starting. So, to a time next time. Packers and Vikings. This game was hard because I do not like either of these teams, but I finalized my decision with the Packers winning the Vikings game. And I didn't do a score or like how many points they're going to win by or anything for any game day prediction except the Vikings and Packers. And I predict that the Packers are going to beat them by 10. If you think otherwise, tell me what you think in the description, or not the comments below. But that is what I think they're gonna win by. So I don't know. Next up, we have the Colts and Jaguars. Colts are gonna win this game. I already told you, if you're a Jaguars fan and you know you're gonna lose, please do not be offended by what I just said. The Colts are gonna beat you guys. Sorry, but it's gonna happen. Phillip Rivers is gonna throw that ball right past every trashy secondary you have. Raiders and Panthers. Raiders beat the Panthers. I feel like the Panthers gotta get used to their new quarterback, Teddy Bridgewater. Next up we have the Jets and Bills. Oh wait, actually, I lied. The Packers and Vikings game is not the only one. I predicted the Jets and Bills. The Bills beat the Jets by 17 points. That's what I think. This is all my opinion. You can think otherwise. It's okay for us to have different opinions, but that is what I think. Browns and Ravens. Alright, this one, I'm not totally sure. I'm not even like 50% sure about this one. I said this because my stepdad is a Ravens fan, and I love teasing him about the blowout that they had against the Browns last year. And I love teasing him about it, and he hates it. But I did predict that the Browns beat the Ravens. I mean, it's gonna happen this year. The Browns are beating the Ravens at least once this year. I know it's gonna happen. It happened last year terribly, but that's what I think. That's just what I think. Cardinals and 49ers. Now this one, I don't know. I'm to me, the 49ers are going to win, but Cardinals are going to put up some high numbers, and so are the 49ers. It's going to be a high-score game, and I want to see DeAndre Hopkins DeAndre Hopkins blow the 49ers defense out of the water. If they could put DeAndre Hopkins man-to-man with Richard Sherman, Hopkins is going to win 90% of the time. Probably almost 100% of the time. Because I'm telling you, he can outrun Richard Sherman like Devontae Adams did in that NFC Championship last year. The Chargers and Bengals. This one was hard for me. I really didn't know which one to go with on this one. I really didn't. So I went with the Bengals. Yes, I went with the Bengals. Because I do not think Tyrod Taylor is going to pull through as the starting quarterback for the Chargers. And Joe Burrow, to me, he is a NFL-ready rookie. And with all the weapons he has on offense right now, I feel there should be no reason they lose this game. But who knows? Maybe Tyrod Taylor is going to be the quarterback that the Chargers need right now, and they win. I don't know. It could happen. One of my favorite games that's happening on Sunday is the Buccaneers versus the Saints. Yes, I cannot wait to watch this game, and you already know on Monday I'm gonna do a post-game analysis on this game. This game is gonna be fire, bro. But I think the Saints win this game, not by a whole lot, but I think they beat the Buccaneers because my reasoning, the Saints didn't change much besides the addition of Emmanuel Sanders. The Buccaneers have a entirely new offense that is going to take some getting used to. But maybe Tom Brady comes out and just shows Drew Brees who's the number one quarterback in the NFL. I don't know. But for the final game day prediction, I have the Cowboys versus the Rams, and the Cowboys win. Yes, I know, I think the Cowboys win even with Aaron Donald on the defense because the Cowboys' offensive line is just so good. They will not have any problem dealing with Aaron Donald. And they can deal with Aaron Donald and let Ezekiel Elliott run right through them. It is going to be amazing. And the Cowboys are a number one team. And like I said, as a somewhat Eagles fan, it kind of kills me to see that the Cowboys are probably going to run over the Eagles this year. With Mike McCarthy, another person I don't really like, but with Mike McCarthy being on the Cowboys team this year, proving that he is a Super Bowl winning caliber coach, and the talent he has right now on that Cowboys team is nuts, and he's going to do a lot with that team. And I already know he is. I do have my Monday predictions down, but you're going to have to wait for Monday for those predictions. And now, for the final thing I need to show before we wrap this up is what I have for the divisional power rankings, I would say. So for that, I'm going to start off in the AFC and go to the NFC. AFC East. Yes, AFC East, I have Bills winning the division. Yes, the Bills, I think, win the division over the Patriots this year. In my mind, there's no way the Patriots are going to overdo the Bills this year like they have almost every other year. Which means, and I'm still not counting out the Patriots because I think the Patriots go second in their division. Mainly because teams like the Dolphins and Jets, I don't think are ready to take over the Patriots, second place throne this year. Not necessarily the first place throne, like they've always had second place throne. And after second place, coming in third place, we have the Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins, to a time next time because Ryan Fitzpatrick is still here to stay, and that leaves one more team, the New York Jets. They go last because getting rid of Jamal Adams, he is one of the guys you need. He is that guy you needed to keep on your defense if you wanted to keep a good defense, but you didn't. So, oh well, you have to suffer with being last place in the division. But it's not anything new. unless Sam Darnold could pull through this year, which I doubt it. But moving on to the AFC North, one of my favorite divisions in the NFL, we have for me, my opinion, the Ravens coming in at number 1. I don't think this is just my opinion. This is almost everybody's opinion in the NFL right now. And with them having the number 1 record in the league last year, and the best record they've had as a franchise of all time, I think they've come number 1. Coming in number 2, though, leader in the NFL for defensive sacks, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers. And boy, do they have a defense. And with Ben Roethlisberger coming back, it is needless to say that they are going to have an 8-8 record this year. And coming in third, the Cleveland Browns. I think it's just going to be same as last year, 8-8, but the Steelers come out on top. Steelers probably going over 8-8, 9-7 or something. But the Browns, I think, go 8-8 or 7-9 this year. That's what I think. I did have high hopes for this team going in, but they're just dropping. I don't know why. They are a high-level team, and with Kevin Stefanski coming into the Cleveland Browns, it's just gonna be good. And lastly, AFC North, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't think they're a good enough team yet. Give Joe Burrow a couple years, then they will be a good enough team to start moving up in the AFC North. AFC South, the Indianapolis Colts going number 1. Yes. They will overdo the Titans, Texans, Jags. They will overdo them all. Number 2, though, we have the Tennessee Titans, which leaves the Houston Texans for 3rd. But the Tennessee Titans are they're going to have a dominant running game this year. Yes. And if Ryan Tannehill could play nearly 80% as good as he did last year, they will be okay. They will be a good team to reach another playoff berth. And I said the Texans will be 3rd. They look lost without DeAndre Hopkins, and coming in 4th, and possibly most likely the last of the entire NFL, Jacksonville Jaguars. I have nothing to say about that team. Moving on to the AFC West, we have the Kansas City Chiefs, reigning Super Bowl champs, taking the division. And the Chargers coming in 2nd. But Tyrod Taylor, I don't know about him. I'm not sure. I don't trust him for me personally. But the Raiders coming in 3rd, and the Broncos coming in 2nd, Broncos coming in last with Von Miller suffering that season-ending injury. And now moving on to the NFC, we have the Dallas Cowboys, one of the highest skilled teams this year in the NFC, taking number 1 in their division. I could definitely see it happening. And in my mind, there's no doubt it will happen. And the Philadelphia Eagles coming in 2nd, Zach Ertz having some contract issues, and the New York Giants coming in 3rd, with the Washington football team coming in last. But they do have a good defense, which is going to keep them held up this year. But the Giants, they need to do something, because leaving it all up to Saquon is not turning out so well. Especially with that offensive line you have. It is atrocious. Now to the NFC North. Listen, I know I'm a Bears fan, but you are going to be disappointed in what I have to say here. Packers leading the division. Yes, I know. If you are a Bears fan too, you are probably getting mad at me really bad right now. But it's okay because I say the Bears come in second and reach the playoffs. So it's all good. We don't need to lead the division to make it to the playoffs. Lions coming in third and Vikings coming in last. The Vikings just lost too much this year for me to think that they're going to be in the top 3 of that division. And the Lions, they are getting better, but their injuries are not looking better. They need to fix those. NFC South, we have the Saints coming in first. They have the most complete offense in the NFL. Buccaneers coming in second with a big super team this year. Panthers coming in third with a new quarterback in Teddy Bridgewater, and the Falcons coming in last. Todd Gurley will up their running game if he could stay healthy, and that is a really big if. And if their team can break through this year, which is also another really big if. It's not really the team that needs to break through, it's Matt Ryan that needs to break through. He has been regressing since Super Bowl 51, and same has the entire team, but somehow Julio Jones has been managing to keep up with his 1,000-yard seasons. And moving on, finally, to the NFC West. San Francisco 49ers, they take it all the way. They do another great season like they did last year. Their front seven, best in the NFL. And I will not hesitate to say that they may make it back to the Super Bowl. Now, they do have a lot of problems to run through to get to that Super Bowl, but I believe they can make it through. Coming in number 2, the Seattle Seahawks. I don't know. They got better. Their defense got better. Their offense got better. Jamal Adams and Greg Olsen. But is it enough to pass the San Francisco 49ers? Is it enough to beat their front seven? Is it enough to get past Richard Sherman? I do not know. But what I do know is that I put them at number 2. Number 3, the Arizona Cardinals. Adding Isaiah Simmons, adding DeAndre Hopkins, absolutely crushing the Texans' offense, losing him. Poor Bill O'Brien probably looks like an idiot right now. But the Cardinals are going to do really good. Kyler Murray showing that he is the real deal when it comes to NFL rookies. And now lastly, for me, one of the lowest teams going to be in the NFL this year, even in their new stadium, the Los Angeles Rams. Their defense can't do everything, Jared Goff needs to step up. Jalen Ramsey just got his big contract, and Aaron Donald can't do everything on his own. So that's why I'm saying they go last in their division, and even maybe 25th in the NFL. I don't know. That's what I feel. That's what I think. And that's how we are going to end this podcast. Hope you guys enjoy. And as always, subscribe, like, and don't forget. I don't know what to not forget. But subscribe, like, leave a comment down below. What's your favorite team? How you think they're going to do in the NFL this year? And how confident you are in your team. Let me just tell you if you are a Jaguars fan. I would just not watch the NFL for this season, I would wait till next season when you guys have Trevor Lawrence. Because right now, you guys are looking like you're about to get Trevor Lawrence, but I would recommend just sitting out this season. Just so you don't have your hearts broken or anything, you know? But I mean, do you guys really think Gardner Minshew is the one? Minshew Mania is the one. Mr. Mustache is the one. I don't know. But I do know that we are going to end off